What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Gump Nation with your boy Kangaroo Black, and I'm coming back to talk about my Alabama Crimson Tide and Nick Saban, because here at Gump Nation, there's always something to talk about when it comes to my Alabama Crimson Tide. And if you're a college football fan, you know Nick Saban went to Capitol Hill to give his thoughts on NIL and see what Congress can do about it. See if they can get some rules and regulation in place govern this NIL, possibly the transfer portal also. But anyway, ever since then, I've been reading and listening to all these characters, the sports media analysts, fans, YouTubers, talk about what Nick Saban said, twisting his words around to make them fit the narrative that they want to put out there, basically. And all they're doing is lying on Coach Nick Saban. Do y'all have that much hate in your heart for Nick Saban? Do y'all hate him that much? Do y'all envy him that much? Or are you that jealous of Nick Saban? I'm sure all y'all don't know this man on a personal level, but you hate him simply for the fact that he ran the most dominant college football program in all college football history. He did that, and you hate him for it. You hate him because he put together teams that beat the team that you support time and time again, year after year. And that is why you hate this man so much. That's why you are so jealous of this man, and that's why you envy this man so much. You took his words and dissected it and switched them around to fit a narrative that you wanted to put out there to all the college football world, knowing you ain't put nothing but total lies out there about what Nick Saban said about NIL. You know you have never heard Nick Saban say he have a problem with these players getting paid. You have never heard or seen or read Nick Saban anything saying that he don't want the players to get paid. Never. Nick Saban has been consistent on his thoughts about the NIL and players getting paid. And he has consistently said it's the same thing, that paying the players is a good thing. He just don't want them to be employees of that school. Point blank. Nothing else. And several other coaches that have said the same exact thing. And just because it comes from Nick Saban, you got a problem with it. You don't have a problem with it coming from any other coach. And I'm talking to the sports media, daggone college football media, fans, YouTubers, whoever. Because you are lying when you say Nick Saban don't want the players to get paid. You got him out there saying Nick Saban made all this money off these players, and now he don't want them to get paid. When you know damn well you telling a damn lie. A bold-faced lie. That's all. Nick Saban is the voice of college football. He is the most important person in all of college football, even though he has retired. And like I've been saying, y'all just want Saban just to go away, never to be heard from again. And he won't give you that satisfaction. You clowns out here, sports media, YouTubers, fans, talking about Nick Saban quit. I always thought, as a man, if you go into a job and planning on making it a career, your goal is to retire. And this man did this job at a high level for probably more than 50 years, and he decided to retire. And you want to put the narrative out there that he quit. That he quit. You can't hate this man because he got the chance to retire while all your coaches are getting fired. You can't blame him for that. So you might need to ask yourself, if you still on a job, if you still got a career, do I want to retire? Is my goal to retire? And of course, if you get that chance to retire and somebody come along and say, why you quit? You'll probably piss you off. I ain't quit. I fucking retired. That'll be your reaction. Guaranteed. But that don't faze Saban because he know what he did. But anyway, let's get back to this NIL thing. But oh well. Nick Saban went to Capitol Hill. Never not one time said he had an issue with players getting paid. He has maintained the same stance on NIL since the beginning of NIL. Don't want to be employees and put some rules and regulations in place to govern the NIL and the transfer portal. But anyway, this is, I don't even got to go over Nick Saban thoughts on NIL and what he said on Capitol Hill, because it seems to me everybody was listening. Everybody was listening. You don't like Nick Saban, you don't like Alabama, but you damn sure interested in what Nick Saban got to say and what is going on in Tuscaloosa at the University of Alabama. But you don't like him. You hate him with a damn passion. But anyway, Nick Saban ain't the only ones that's saying this. Like I say, several other coaches is saying the same exact saying, or saying the same exact thing. But you only got a problem when Nick Saban said. All they doing is repeating the same shit he's saying, but you don't have an issue when it's coming from somebody else. It is what it is. But anyway, let's see what old Dabo. Well, we'll go with Brian Kelly. What did Brian Kelly have to say concerning the NIL? And he said, way back in December. That's what he said this in December. NIL in its purest form. You will ask any coach, NIL is great. The problem is when you add other things to it, it becomes a different animal. When you add the transfer portal, inductments, agents, and other things, NIL then becomes in some instances, pay for play. That's not what it was intended to be. And Nick Saban has said that time and time again, that they don't want, or he don't want, pay for play. And Brian Kelly is saying the same shit. He's saying when it comes to pay for play, it changes the equation. It changes recruiting. It changes the roster. It changes why kids go from being committed and having responsibility to what's mine and when can I get it. That's not what the NIL was intended to be. That's what it is. He says, I don't know if there's a coach that wouldn't stand on this table and say NIL is a great thing. It's all the other add-ons that have made things so different. And Nick Saban, you don't have a problem with what Brian Kelly said? Basically the same thing Nick Saban said. Pay for play, baby. They do not want it. They don't want it. All right, let's go to Dabo Swinney. When did Dabo Swinney say this? Dabo Swinney said these words March the 4th this year. What do you say? Let's get to it. Dabo Swinney. The best thing for coaches in the kind of world we are in right now is for them to be employees. He said, coaches, the worst thing is for them to be employees, or that is not a world we want for 18-year-old kids. They don't want the kids to be employees, man. Everybody is saying the same shit, but y'all just want to talk about what Nick Saban said and go all deep into what he's saying and twist his words around to fit your narrative, and your narrative ain't nothing but a complete lie. If you are one of the ones, sports media, YouTubers, fans, that's saying Nick Saban don't want the players to get paid. Anyway, let's keep it moving. Words from Dabo. I think the NIL is awesome. I really am for it. I'm all for enhancing the scholarship however you want. But I also understand the reality that 98% of these kids are not going to play NFL football. We need to educate our young people in society. Nobody talks about the value of education anymore. And Nick Saban said, players, when you're recruiting, they ain't asking about education. They talking about how much can I get paid. Just like he said, 78% of the players he talked to after the season was talking about playing time and getting paid. How much can you pay me? So hey, well, what about your education? What about being developed? But anyway, Dabo, I just want to see us incentivize education. There are also so many things we can do. We can create 401k plans like the real world. If you take your money out early, there's a penalty. There's 18-year-old kids leaving home for the first time in their life. We are sometimes setting them up for failure. And that is true. If you do it like a 401, hey, you're still getting paid. Hell, do it like hell. Just you getting paid, but you ain't getting nothing until your 3 or 4 years is up, or you declare for the draft or whatever. Then you get your money. But hey, it is what it is, man. But it's just that it's coming from Nick Saban that's causing all the hate. That's what it is. Because it's coming from Nick Saban, the best coach to ever do it, college football coach to ever do it. And it's probably only coming from the fans of teams that Coach Saban beat on a yearly basis. Auburn fans, Tennessee fans, fucking even LSU fans. That's who it's coming from mostly. You got, what's his name? Rufino and Joe or some shit like that, YouTubers. Boy, that goddamn Rufino or whatever his damn name, Blake Rufino, whatever his damn name, boy, he have an issue with Nick Saban. He gets really emotional when it comes to Nick Saban. He's an LSU fan, and that's how I know. That's how I know he hates Nick Saban. I mean, with a passion, it seemed like, because, I mean, you're an LSU fan. He beat LSU on a regular basis. I understand you having a problem with the man, but to throw so much hate toward that man. And the thing about it with Nick Saban going on Capitol Hill, he just say he agreed with everything Nick said. But then goes on and say Nick Saban was talking out both sides of his mouth. Well, how you agree with it? So, oh man, but he gets emotional on their podcast when it comes to Nick Saban. I mean, he be yelling and every damn thing. But the other guy, Joe, he talk logical with some sense. But these LSU fans, oh well. You remember T-Ball? So, but anyway, like I said, Auburn, Tennessee, LSU, boy, they hate Nick Saban. But it is what it is. But anyway, all right, these are some things that Kirby Smart said. Kirby Smart said this just yesterday. You ain't heard nothing. But anyway, it starts off by saying Smart still believes NIL is a great thing, but it has also forced Smart to put greater emphasis on players who are at first willing to put aside some money in order to pursue something greater. Kirby didn't say he got a problem with it. He just want them to put money aside and look at the bigger picture. That's all. But anyway, this is what Kirby said. I certainly think it puts a premium on all players that don't require all the NIL. All right? Meaning a kid that says, I want to come to your university because I want to win a championship. There's a value in that. I want to come because you are going to give a great education. You are going to develop me into an NFL player. Not just, he ain't coming there just because of NIL. He want to come because he's going to get developed. He's going to get his education, right? Not just because of NIL. And that's what a lot of these players are only looking at. NIL, not development. Nick Saban also said that He talked to some coaches in the NFL, and they telling him that, hey, these guys are coming into the NFL and they ain't developed because they more worried about getting that damn money. All right, not Nick Saban, but Kirby Smart also said, it has given kids the opportunity to put some money away and get financial advice, but it's not good when they're choosing why they go to school. That should be where they go to school. But anyway, the only reason for coming to the school is because of how much NIL money they get. And you've seen instances of that. So, but everybody got a problem when Nick Saban calls it out. But anyway, Kirby Smart goes on to say, I don't know if the success we had in the 2021 season, those kids had to work really hard without NIL. The Jordan Davis, N'Kobe Deans, James Cook, they came without that and they worked to achieve and got better. Exactly. Same thing Nick Saban said. I don't know if we're going to see that same growth, that same hunger, because some of these kids are coming into a situation where they think they've already made it and they're getting passed by someone hungrier than them. Ain't nobody in the uproar? Which one of these coaches has said they got an issue with players getting paid? When did Nick Saban say he got an issue with players getting paid? Never. But anyway, back, I think it was 2022, July of 2022, Kirby Smart had more comments on the NIL. And when he made these comments, I had a problem with it. But when he said these comments back then. But it's true right now. It's true right now. I troll Georgia fans or whatever. I talk shit about it. But this shit is true as we speak. But anyway, this is what Kirby had to say. It's unfortunate that it slid. Well, let's start right here. Georgia Bulldogs head coach Kirby Smart said he has concerns with the current status of name, image, and likeness rights for college athletes. These are Kirby Smart's words. It's unfortunate that it slid the way it did because I was one of the biggest advocates that the name, image, and likeness needed to be in place. He talking about it's got rules in parentheses. So maybe he's saying that he's a big advocate for NIL rules to be in place. All right, look. It's not for everybody. Everybody's not going to make the same amount of money off it. You're going to have a different pay scale for different guys. I can't accept that. Okay, but he goes on to say, what I can't accept is some young man getting $10,000 a month for 4 years or 3 years of college. That's $120K a year. What do you think he's doing with that? Is that actually going to make him more successful in life? Because I promise you, if you handed me $10K a month as a freshman in my freshman year of college, I probably wouldn't be where I am today. He probably wouldn't. Some kids, they getting this money, they probably think, hey, I done made it. Like what's his name said? Kirby Smart said, I done made it. So I don't have to work as hard. I already got my money. I ain't never seen a job where you get paid before you work. Besides, hey, NIL. But anyway, but it is what it is. But Kirby Smart is right, man. Kirby Smart is right. And my thinking is they getting all these big contracts or whatever. Take away the scholarship and make them pay their own tuition. But then again, everybody be complaining about that too. Shit, you getting $2 million, $3 million, $4 million, pay your own tuition. I'm not finna pay your tuition and everything else, dealing with the education part, and then pay you to play football, or pay you also. So if you getting paid on an NIL deal, pay your tuition just like every other student. But people will be complaining. Oh man, they took his scholarship. Well, hey, he's still getting paid to play football. Yeah, that's how it was. I pay for your education, everything dealing with your education That means your education, room and board, food, probably books and all that for you to play football. I'm giving you something, you giving me something. I'm giving you a service, you giving me a service. That's what it was. But anyway, so hey, but people looked at it as, and I was included, they playing for free. These coaches making all this money, they paying for free. Well, that's not the case. It wasn't the case. Because guess what? Take the money that these schools was paying for their scholarship and give it to them. That's what they should have did. If your scholarship is $200,000 or $300,000, whatever it was, $150,000, give them the $150,000. See what happened. I guarantee you, they'll be done blew through that goddamn money. They wouldn't be going to class. They'll be, I guarantee it. So hey, how I tell you what, give them the money that these programs paying in their scholarship. Let's see how much football they gonna be playing. Anyway, but yeah, all right, Kirby Smart. This will he goes on to say when he said he wouldn't be where he is today if they gave him $120,000 a year, whatever, as a freshman or whatever. But anyway, he went on to say, you could say, well, he deserves that. Well, he might deserve it. Kirby Smart say he might deserve it if he earns it. If he goes out there and plays. I'm all for taking care of guys who have been part of the program and start and play. It's a reverse system now, where the bottom coming in is awarded more than the top going out. And like I say, that's Nico at Tennessee. You take Nico and Carson Beck, that's just what Nick Saban is talking about. Not Nick Saban, but Kirby Smart. And he said this way back in 2022. Yes, he did. Nico signed an $8 million deal before he even stepped foot on Rocket Top. While Stetson Bennett, but while Carson Beck just now, maybe 2 months ago, got an NIL contract they say is worth $4 million. Why is Nico getting more than Carson Beck when Carson Beck done been in this program 3 or 4 years all damn ready? And he done started a whole entire season, won games. And Nico ain't did a damn thing but started a meaningless little bowl game. Does it make sense? No, it doesn't. Not one of these guys, including Nick Saban, or one of these coaches, including Nick Saban, said that they have a problem with the guys or the players getting paid. All these coaches, including Nick Saban, are saying the same thing. We don't have a problem with these guys getting paid. We don't have a problem with NIL, but there need to be some rules and regulation guidelines put in place to govern NIL, just like the transfer portal. All of them are saying the same thing about NIL and the transfer portal. So hey, you even got Scott Van Pelt on ESPN. So basically he's saying it's fantastic that the players get to make money now, but every single coach in every single revenue sport, if you are paying attention, pay attention. If you're paying attention, it's saying the same thing. All right. Every single coach in revenue sport, if you're paying attention, is saying the same thing. This is the only thing that any recruit is asking about. And that is, how much are you going to pay me? These coaches, they want these guys to get their money, but also they want these guys to focus on the education and development. But they saying these guys are only focused on the NIL. And if you put some rules and regulations in that, along with the transfer portal, you will see a drastic change. Guaranteed. And you can keep on saying Nick Saban quit because he couldn't keep up, because the tables or the playing field is even now. It may be, but it ain't got nothing to do with Nick Saban no more because he's retired. And guess what? The new head coach of Alabama is still recruiting on a high level. Like I told you, picking up where Saban left off. That's all. And if he win games in his first season, you're going to see this thing keep on rolling. This train called the Alabama Crimson Tide. So continue to hate, continue to be envious, but it ain't going to get you nowhere. It is what it is. But you need to stop lying on Coach Nick Saban just to fit your narrative. And yes, college football sports analysts, fans, YouTubers, whatever you may do, if you say Nick Saban don't want the players to get paid, you telling a lie. Because there's no proof of that anywhere. So hey, it is what it is, baby. You can hate. But when you're hating, have some facts sometime. Please, that's all I ask for. Have some facts sometime. Don't just come over here spewing bullshit and lying with no facts. Of course, lies don't come with facts. It is what it is. Lies only comes with opinions and wishful thinking. That's all. But while you lying, my Alabama Crimson Tide is putting in that work, getting ready to whoop the team that you support. They getting ready to whoop their ass once again. So keep doing what you're doing while my Alabama Crimson Tide keep putting in that work. It is what it is, baby. That's how we do. Let everybody talk while we work. And then when it's time for it to play out on the field, who, more often than not, comes out on top? My Alabama Crimson Tide. But anyway, let me get off of here. I done went on long damn enough. But you haters, you naysayers, and non-believers, it's not a good thing to lie. Roll down tide, baby.